Fix founder problems before they happen. Over 50% of all founder relationships end up failing. It's true. And a failed co-founder relationship can kill your startup. So, wouldn't it be great if there was a way to fix founder problems before they happened? That's what today's video is all about. I'm going to explain to you the 4 steps you can take to fix founder problems before they happen. What do you do to protect yourself in case you have a founder problem? How do you and should you communicate your founder problems to your investors? I hope you like it. Hi, I'm Brett. On my channel, I help early stage startup CEOs like you raise money and grow your startup. So if this sounds like you, then hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time I release a new video. Let's get started. Let me start with a quick story. It took me 3 founding teams, yes 3, before I had a team that clicked. The first founding team, even though we had worked together previously, we didn't mesh as a team. The second founding team just wasn't good enough. It wasn't until I built the third founding team that I got it right. I wish I knew then what I knew now. And you get to benefit from what I've learned. So here are the 4 steps you can take to fix founder problems before they happen. Step number 1, pay attention to cultural fit before you add a co-founder. You think you've found the perfect co-founder. They check all the boxes in terms of skill and ability. However, you're not sure because the person you're thinking of bringing on seems a little off to you. And you wonder, what will this person be like to work with? On the other hand, it's so hard to find a competent co-founder, so you're unsure of what to do. I know it's painful, but you can't bring this person on as your co-founder because it's very unlikely someone that doesn't fit your culture will work out. You need someone that's a fit. So what does a cultural fit look like? Here's my pre-screening list before you bring on any founder. Number 1, you agree on the company vision. This seems self-explanatory, but if you want to go north and the other person wants to go south or even northwest, the odds of this person working out are low. So have the tough conversations about what your potential co-founder sees as the vision for the company. See if they are bought into your vision. Find another co-founder if there isn't a match. Number 2, you agree on how the company will be financed. You wouldn't think financing would be an issue, but it is an issue. My first co-founder, John, felt we should raise less money than I felt we should raise, and he quit. I could have saved myself a lot of pain and time if I'd have had the conversation about fundraising and financing before I agreed to bring John on as my co-founder. Number 3, make sure your potential co-founder isn't paranoid. Back to John again. It also turned out that John was deathly afraid that any investors we spoke to were going to steal the idea for our company. The reality is investors aren't going to steal your idea. However, John felt otherwise, and his paranoia was unhealthy. This is another issue that I could have uncovered during my conversations with him before I brought him on, but I didn't have the conversation about this. Number 4, make sure your co-founder has integrity. Maybe I should have listed integrity first. It does not matter how great a prospective founder's skill is if they don't have integrity. You can't ever trust this person. And without trust, you can't work with this person. You're going to have to move on. Number 5, make sure your co-founder is truly committed to your startup. As I said earlier, it was my 3rd group of co-founders that ended up being the right group. And when I think about the difference between this group and the other groups, was that Adolfo and Jeroen were true believers. In other words, they were fanatics about what we were doing. And I've seen this over and over again with other founding teams I've worked with. Fanatics is what you're looking for, especially at the early stages of your company. If you don't have fanatics, then the likelihood of success goes way, way down. Number 6, make sure your co-founders can handle the ups and downs of being in a startup. In my 2nd group of co-founders, I had a co-founder named Doogie. Doogie lived or died with every investor meeting we had. He couldn't handle it, and he quit. Now, it was a blessing in disguise because he was likely to flame out once we became operational. Here's the deal. Being in a startup is hard, and building one is hard. It's not for everyone. Not only is the work hard and long, but success is likely to take longer than expected. Have this blunt discussion with your prospective co-founder before they join to make sure they can go the distance. Number 7 on our list. Your co-founder is going to be a positive influence. Imagine if you have a co-founder that's complaining all the time to everyone on the team. Then imagine the exponentially negative effect that has on everyone on the team. This one person can literally destroy the morale of a small company. If you've worked with your co-founder before, then you'll know whether this is an issue or not. Now, if you haven't worked with your co-founder before, then I'll explain in step 2 how to find out if this is an issue. Now, speaking of step 2, let's go there. Step 2, check references if you've never worked with the co-founder before. You have to do this. Don't skip this step. This is so critical. You want to do what are called front door and back door reference checks. Front door reference checks are reference checks given by the prospective co-founder. Backdoor reference checks are when you talk to people that you find that have worked with your potential co-founder. You want to do both because you never know what you're going to hear. I would ask the co-founder this before I started. What am I going to hear from the people I speak with? This gives your co-founder the ability to speak about any issues and skeletons they have before you talk to anybody else. Now, hopefully they'll tell you. It's a good check. Step 3, pay close attention to how your equity split discussion goes. When you talk about how much equity your co-founder will get, the discussion should be easy and straightforward. What you don't want is a huge argument about equity. It's a red flag in my humble opinion. I'm not saying you need to exactly agree, but if they want something unreasonable and don't want to budge, then you've got a problem. Step number 4, obey the 9-month rule. You should think about your co-founder relationships like a marriage. And would you get married to somebody after the first date? I don't think so. It's the same with a co-founder. I know you want to move fast, but you should take your time, do your diligence, and then have a grace period where you can get out of the relationship in a way that doesn't kill your company. What do you do to protect yourself in case you have a co-founder problem, despite all these steps? Now, here are a few steps you can take. Number 1, make sure you have a vesting schedule for your equity. You want a 12-month cliff at the beginning of the vesting, so no equity vests during this period. Number 2, act decisively. Move on quickly from your co-founder if you realize you've made a bad decision. It will be best for both of you. Number 3, handle the termination with class and grace. Go out of your way to be generous. Let your co-founder leave with their dignity intact. And if some of your co-founder's equity has vested, then so be it. It's their equity after all. How do you and should you communicate your founder problems to your investors? Let's say you've decided to let your co-founder go. Then all you have to do are these 2 things. The first thing is you need to let your investors know that you've decided to fire your co-founder. Remember, it's your decision to let your co-founder go, not your investors, but you want to tell them. Then, the second thing you need to do is tell your investors what your plan is to replace your co-founder. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now, if this content is resonating with you, then please hit the like button right now. Now, what did you learn from today's video? Put your answer in the comments column below today's video. And if you have any questions for me, put them in the comments column too, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Now, I have one more thing for you today. It's my free startup pitch deck template. It has all the slides you need to develop an awesome pitch deck. Click the link below today's video, and it's yours for free. And for more great content, click on the video at the end of today's video. And if you haven't already, then click the subscribe button to get notified every time I release a new video. I'm Brett at brettjfox.com. Thanks for watching today. Take care. Bye.